Hey there, toy collector friends and bat fans alike. Welcome back to the channel. I'm the Triple TC, that's the time traveling toy collector, and today we are looking at this wonderful new release from Corgi Toys. It is the Batboat and trailer, and it's coming as part of their, if you like, greatest hits tour, is how I'm sort of referring to it, where they're sort of revisiting some of their very original early vehicles. This is the Batboat that of course works in tandem with the Batmobile, and the first thing I note with this is that the Batmobile is really heavy. There's a lot of heaviness to the Batmobile. The Batboat, by contrast, is so light, you almost think they've forgotten to put it in. I can hear it rattling, so it's in there, but it almost feels like they've forgotten to put it in there. But what a lovely collection, what a lovely flashback to a wonderful time gone by. Now, of course, even I wasn't around in the 1960s, which is when these came out originally in their original variation. But I had versions of these in the 1970s. And you may remember I said when I was looking at this one, that there was that I recalled a gift set, and now I'm still maintaining that I believe there was a 3-pack gift set with the Batmobile, the Batboat, and the Batcopter, but maybe I'm imagining it. It was one of those sort of really long ones with the translucent plastic, with the transparent plastic, clear plastic front, and they were sort of positioned at an angle. And I certainly have a memory of that, but that had a different version of the Batmobile. So the Batmobile, you'll know from when we were looking at this in the previous video, that this comes with the flame, there's no illustrations on it, is there, with the flame booster thruster thing in the middle, whereas the one that came in the set did have a hook. It was pre-molded with a hook so that it could cope with the trailer, which comes in this one, and the Batboat. But I also seem to remember, and someone in the comments correct me if I'm wrong, but I can always do a Google search later just for my own, appease myself. But if any of you know, then you can save me that 3 minutes of my life and let me know in the comments. I seem to remember that in the set, this didn't have a Batman and Robin in it. They didn't have them because they were already featured in the Batmobile. So, but again, that could be a false memory, because I certainly don't think they stayed in it for very long and would be lost to time. I don't know whether or not these are fixed in yet, because I haven't yet taken this one out of the box. It does come with a Corgi model trailer, Batboat and trailer certificate of authenticity, which is great, just like the Batmobile did. 1967 was the very first issue of this, so it's on the back of the 1960 series, and it was number 101, and hopefully it's got that on the side somewhere. 101, yeah. So this is, you know, back when toys were just stocked in boxes on shelves. You go and you go, oh, I've got I want to find number 107, please. And they'd reach up and they'd go, here it is, and they'd just pull down, and it was just a different way of shopping. It was an absolutely different way of shopping. This also has some information about the products on the back, yeah, I'll let you have a read of that. It does, yeah. It comments here that the 1966 one didn't have the tow hook because it had the other issue, just from the later there's a Whiz Wheels era version. I don't know what that is. The flame sticker on the sides of the hull, and the beacon between the cage. Oh, I love a beacon, me. Of the Batboat replicates the sought after first issue, so that's brilliant. Complete with the plastic coupler for the and the original illustrated iconic box. Absolutely marvelous. And yes, there is a gift set complete with the tow hook Batmobile, which is what I was mentioning just now. And I think that is brilliant that they've, because we've got the original Batmobile version, which had the booster thing. That means this would not attach, so it comes complete with the special trailer coupling attachment that will just, I think, if I understand from the pictures that I've seen, it just fits over the Batmobile. So we'll have a look at that in good time. taking into consideration the box first of all, it's just beautiful. And of course, and I'll just bring it in again, you can see how they complement each other in the designs, and it's just not to be maudlin about it, but I kind of really wish I'd grown up. I mean, I grew up in a good time. I grew up in a good time for toys. Let's not pretend that's not the case. And it's still quite a good time for toys now. But this kind of packaging, there's just something about it. I mean, there must be something about it because you see so many people online who are doing reproduction boxes for various different things, like old Corgi stuff or dinky stuff. Even reproduction boxes for their mask toys. You know, I don't know if anyone collected mask stuff back in the day. And of course, now that's getting a resurgence as well. I don't know if that's Mask. Mask was something that I collected. I didn't go all in with Mask. I had a few of the vehicles, quite a few, I suppose, if looking back, but I didn't go all in. But Mask, we're not here to talk about Mask. I'm just saying, you know, it's just amazing the power of nostalgia and that kind of stuff. So what I'm looking at the box here, and you can see. So we've got the wonderful, as they themselves say, iconic illustrations on the front there. Robin looking all Robin-y in his cockpit, and Batman peeking through the other side. But instead of the I'm assuming no included instructions, here we get Batboat operating instructions, which is basically if you want to attach it to the trailer, you surprisingly, well, put it onto the trailer. This is the bit that's really interesting for me, is the coupling to the Batmobile. So there's the attachment that will fit over the flame section, and then you can hook that to that, and it should be pulled along marvelously. Again, this side we've got the details here, a detailed die-cast scale model. So if it's die-cast, I would just say it doesn't feel like it doesn't feel weighty enough to be die-cast. Maybe, well, we'll see when we get it out. Interesting, I can't see it here. If anyone can see it here, tell me. I can't see here whether it says it really floats, because I don't remember if the original one really floated either. Oh, here's operating instructions part 2. That's it attached there. Use fine thread. I don't really understand this. Use fine thread for towing. So obviously there's a segment there, and you can attach some thread but to tow it along. I'm wondering if that means in the water. Do you know? Because that's what I'm thinking. It's the opposite panel for attaching the boat. So to get it, I'm assuming this downward thing means you hold onto the thing to lift it up and off, because maybe it tabs in. I honestly don't. I always remember it just sat there rather unceremoniously and would fall off at every opportunity. But maybe that's another modification to this version that makes it slightly more stable, and also will define it from the original, so people don't try and flog this on claiming, oh, it's an original from the 60s. We're not falling for it, you scalping, evil scalping bad people. Anything else to show you? I've shown you that side. What's on this side? Well, yeah, I've shown you this side. This is what would be on the shelf. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to get this out of the box. I'm going to do taking it out of the box off camera, only because I want to take my time with it so that I don't damage the box at all, because sometimes the way these are put in, they tear very easily around these. And whilst that's not, it's not the end of the world, but I want to kind of, they make such an effort to reproduce these. I want to keep it as pristine as possible. So while I'm doing that, if you could drop a like to this video, that would be amazing. If you could subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, that would be phenomenal. And of course, if you want to see a bit more of the Batboat, there's a couple of videos that are going to be, one's already available, another one will be available very shortly, but by the time you're watching this, it may be available on my Patreon channel. One of the videos, the first one, is available to all membership levels, whether it's free or you're part of the Temporal Toy Box tier. The other one will only be available for the Temporal Toy Box tier. So if you're interested in either of those, go and check out the Patreon. And I can't believe I'm saying it, there's a link for the Patreon in the description down below. Gosh, so grown up. Anyway, let's get this big bad boy Batboat out of the box. Okay, so I've managed to get this the Batboat out of the box, and I have to say it is absolutely gorgeous. It's an absolutely gorgeous piece. It's very plastic. I'm going to try and work out with you in a moment where the die cast is, but I think it might just be in the trailer, because it definitely isn't the boat, I don't think. It's a bit fiddly with the box, but I have identified a mechanism that worked really well, and I'm going to drop that over on the Patreon channel. So if anyone wants to find out my new secret method, brilliant, genius secret method for how to open the box without doing any damage to it, you can see me do it in real time over on Patreon. So here we are. Let's look at the main event here. This is absolutely gorgeous. Let's get it in hand up close. It is unbelievably light, and alongside being unbelievably light, I have to say it feels unbelievably fragile. And that is something that I feel that it is unbelievably fragile. I will separate them up for ease. So what's really good, I don't know if you'll be able to see this, but what's really, really good is that there are tabs. Can you see that? There are tabs on either side of the wheel arches there, and they just connect. So you can see them probably a bit more clearly here. Look, you see that? See how that works there? They just connect. Let's pop that back. On these two, if I do it easier this way, these two very, very thin tabs there. So there you go. There you go. Now also, while we're looking at the base, yeah, this is entirely plastic from what I can feel, just so you know. There's the various logos and Corgi Toys, etc. We've got some classic detailing with decals on the side. I'm going to go so far as to say, and I remember this plastic thing here. I'm going to go so far as to say, I think this does float. Now, that's me saying I think it does float. I'm not saying play with it and find out. Oh my goodness me, are they detachable Batman and Robin figures? They're actually detachable. Okay, calm down me. One thing at a time. Right, so let's look at the boat itself. The detailing is kind of cool. There's no infilling around these two raised areas here, so you can kind of see this sort of the translucent blue plastic that forms the sort of windshields there, filling that up. But it is that's how that works out. There's the sort of towing area, so you'd attach some fine line to it so that it would be, you can put it along in the water. I remember having this. Oh, this rotates. Look at this. It rotates to give us sort of beacon impression. I know for a fact the original one of these that I had, that gold crown section had come off. Does it come off here? I don't want to take it off. I just want to know. Yeah, it doesn't feel like it's an easy pull off, but it did come off. And there was no. I had by the end of it, no sticker here. It was just the orange fin, which was all part of one molded piece of orange plastic that I think just is an insert to the black plastic, which makes perfect sense technically. Let's take a look in the cockpit. There's a lovely chrome coloured cockpit here. Steering wheel. It's so beautiful. I can't say, there's nice little detailing either side, and that detailing there, the texture there on the entry point to the ship, is textured, I would say, from a real life point of view, like that, to avoid slipping, so they could get in and out without slipping. There's decals here, very beautiful shiny decals here, and I think my memory is telling me that is what, and it doesn't require too much. That's not quite placed right, and it's hitting there, which is annoying. But these decals, certainly on the original, were not waterproof, because they wouldn't be. They're stickers. They just come off, obviously. But when you're, 5-year-old me, 6-year-old me playing with this in the bath, you don't think about things like that. I did the same thing with my original R2-D2, who was also, as those of you who know, covered in stickers. one massive sticker, basically, a dustbin with a big sticker wrapped around him, and exposure to hot bath water isn't good for these things. Now there's a hole here. I'm not entirely sure why there's a hole there in the ring, in the wing. So if anyone knows what that's for, is that a production reason with the plastic, or is it for another tow line? If it is, I don't know why it would be. If you know, please let me know in the comments. So Batman and Robin actually looking particularly well detailed. Now you saw me, they were gibbering, they were literally wiggling about a bit. I almost don't want to do this, but I feel like I'm obliged to find out. He doesn't, there is resistance to him coming out, but not much resistance. Oh my word. There is Batman. Where's his cape? Oh, it's just tucked around there. Okay. That actually, let me zoom in a bit more. That is not a bad little Batman figure when you consider the scale and the size. That is actually, that's quite impressive. That's quite impressive. Let's slide him back inside there, if we can, with ease. Trying to get his hands in the right place. So let's try the same with Robin. Robin, again, there's a bit of reluctance to come out, which to be honest I'm here for, because I would much rather him not come out and me know. Actually, no, he doesn't want to come out, and I'm not going to force the issue. He's wedged in there, but you can see he's got his little cape folded over his arm and his lap there. I'm not sure what he's doing, but I'm sure it's something, you know, Robin-y. But I think that looks phenomenal. And it again, the die cast. Let's pop this here for just for a second, because I think we can take a look at this. I don't know if there's any sort of detailing on here. No, but yeah, this is exactly as I remember it. To be perfectly honest with you, although I don't remember these. I think this might be. I could be lying to you, but I think this might be a more modern version of it, just as to keep it on safe. And then of course you've got the hook and the various tow line options there. So let's pop that there for now, and let's pop the Batboat back on it. That's not obviously how it's supposed to sit, but because we've also got this little gem, let's pick it up and so you can actually see it. And this is the coupling device, which comes in this handy little bag. Let me just zoom out so I'm not make my hideous fingers even more hideously gigantic. It's in one of those sort of self-sealing bags. I'm not sure what the name of those bags are. Do we know what the names of those self-sealing bags are? Ones that look like this, that are a real nightmare to open, as it turns out. If you know what they're called, and yes, I am filling in time while I'm trying to open the bag, but if you know what they're called, if they have an official sort of name, please do let me know in the comments. I'm always trying to find out the proper name for things that we all just accept are in our lives, but we never necessarily know what they're properly called. So it just looks like that. But we have here the Batmobile. So there we have the Batman and Robin. I think they're the same. They're very similar, if they're not the same, molds for the figures. And again, Robin here is a bit more rigid, whereas Batman's a bit more loose. No comment. So here's the flame section, so this, I believe, just seamlessly, allegedly, tabs over the top of that. In an ideal world. Has that done it? Don't feel that it's on quite straight, but we'll have a look. Let's just ever so carefully zoom out so we've got the full space. Now let's attach this properly. I'm very conscious, of course, that it's some sort of multiversal event, which is why we've got 2 Batman and Robins. And that just links over there. And there we have that set. Look at that. It rolls brilliantly. It's just lovely. I'm just sorry, there's a brief pause there while I was taking in the fun of it all. I just think it just looks so great. You know, this was one of those things I was thinking, oh, I don't know if I'll actually have this out on a particular display. But now I've got that, I kind of am thinking, why would you not have it out on display? It looks amazing because again, we've got the insert with the Batmobile, which acts as a sort of display base. Semi-disappointingly, you don't get the same thing with the Batboat. So whereas we had the display base with the Batmobile, there's no sort of inserted diorama thing with the Batboat. It just comes wrapped in some tissue paper, very, very well wrapped in some tissue paper with some styrofoam either end to hold it in place, but nothing else. So it is very much what you see here is the extent of it. But of course, we can just stand it on top of the box, because on top of the box will be an absolutely adequate kind of display, I think, potentially, unless you want to display it connected, because they're different. I think they're different heights. Oh, maybe they're not. Maybe they're not. So actually, maybe if we didn't use the insert, we could do something like that. That works. So that could work as a display option. Yeah, that's got lots of potential. So, folks, I think this is another beautiful and wonderfully iconic entry into the Corgi range. I don't think I can articulate fully how much this sort of thing really plays to my nostalgia buttons, and really has my nostalgic kid dancing around, and I really do wonder what else we might find them doing in the future. And again, that's a topic for discussion over on Patreon, and we will absolutely pick that up there, because I think there's the scope is so amazing for what they could do. Anyway, what do you think of this? Is this something you're going to pick up? Are you a Corgi collector? Are you part of the Corgi Collectors Club? Do you receive your Corgi toys on a regular basis? How is that? Is it value for money? I'm not. I just sort of dip in and get the bits that I want. And I don't know whether that means that there's a financial penalty, or there are better discounts available for me were I to explore that as an option. But it's not really something that I'm thinking about. I'm quite happy and content to go in as and when and pick up the individual pieces. So let's leave that there for now. This is the Corgi Batboat and trailer, complete with its special little attachment for the Batmobile. Let me know if you're picking it up. Let me know if you've got it already. Let me know what you think of it. Let me know if it brings back memories. Let me know if you're thinking, what the hell was this? And as I say, I'm so chuffed to have it in my collection. I think it's absolutely fantastic. I love the pair of them together, but also as standalone pieces. I think they look really great. So I'm absolutely here for this and whatever they've got coming down the pipeline. Thank you so much for spending the last sort of 20 minutes with me. It's been an absolute pleasure to have you here. Just a quick reminder, if you haven't already, please do like the video, and also a completely free subscription to the channel would make the world of difference as I try to get to my next key subscriber milestone. And of course, as mentioned, if you want to check out some additional stuff exclusive for Patreon members, there's a free tier as well as the Temple Toy Box tier. The link is very much in the description down below. I've been the Triple TC, that's the Time Travelling Toy Collector. You've been fantastic. This has been the Corgi re-release of the 1967 version of the Batboat and trailer, seen here with the 1966 re-release of the Batmobile. And it just remains for me to say, as I customarily do, that I very much look forward to seeing you in a future or indeed a past video, and that things of beauty really are toys forever. Take care. Bye-bye for now.